Hello, manifestors. Today we are going to talk about something that very few people are talking about. And this is the very thing why you are blocking your manifestation. Because trust me, once you get this, you can manifest anything that you want in a record time. So let's talk about this today. But before we do, please like and subscribe, comment and share the video so more people like you can have access to this information that is not so common even in the manifesting community. My name is Sylviane. I am a manifesting coach. I offer one-on-one coaching and email coaching. I also have a blog where I write about the law of assumption and the teaching of Neville Goddard. I have now a podcast every Tuesday where I discuss Neville Goddard's teaching and the law of assumption and how powerful you are. And I have a free Facebook group, almost 5,000 members now. So it was time for a VIP group, a subscription group where I do a live once a week and where Andreza, who is a coach in my team, is creating amazing manifesting challenges that are going to help you become master manifestors. And all the links are down below in the description box. So today I wanted to talk about probably the biggest problem that I see in the manifesting community. And this problem is that you are using your logical mind when you are manifesting. And manifesting is a spiritual thing. By the way, if you didn't know that yet, manifesting using the law consciously, it's a spiritual thing, not a 3D thing. So when you mix your logical mind with your manifestation, you are doing it all wrong, completely wrong. The law is spiritual. 3D is a bunch of facts. And when you mix both, or when you try to use the second in order to get the first, you are messing it up. And a lot of you, not to say most of you, are doing this. So you need to understand this. You need to understand that you need to separate the human logical mind when it comes to manifestation. And then the law of nature that is visible in the 3D will act in a certain way that your manifestation is going to seem natural. So natural that once you manifest something, you are going to think, well, it probably would have happened anyway. And by the way, Neville said that. Neville said that when you manifest something, a lot of times you would be thinking, well, it would probably have happened anyway. And the reason why you even think this way is because it's the logical mind again trying to get in the middle and trying to tell you that this spiritual law doesn't even exist. It would have happened anyway. But that is not the case. Nothing happens by accident. We manifest everything that happens to us. For example, I recently told this true story in my Facebook group. I ordered online a pair of pants that were too long and I needed to fix the hems. And I really need someone to do that for me because I actually know how to sew, but I don't have a sewing machine right now. So when it comes to a pair of jeans, you really want this to look professional. You don't want to do this by hand. So I had no choice but going to a place that I know where they do this type of services. Well, it so happened that I'm going there last Saturday morning, and I see the lady, the owner of the shop, looking very sad and even teary eyes. And me, for some reason, having the impulse to ask her what was wrong. So she tells me, well, my nephew was in an accident, in a car accident 2 days ago, and he's still in a coma. And the doctors don't know if he's gonna make it. So right away, me, who never talk about the law to the average person walking in the street, I have the inner pulsion to say, well, do not accept that. Instead, what you need to start doing from now on is imagine him being completely okay, being just fine. And for some reason, she accepts what I'm telling her. She doesn't even think I'm crazy. I even told her, even if you think that I'm crazy, please do this. You have nothing to lose. And she tells me, oh no, I don't think you're crazy. So she even added, so there are things that he likes to do in his garden. Can I imagine him doing the stuff that he was supposed to do this weekend in his garden? And I said, yes, that's exactly what I mean. So I tell her that, and I'm even surprised that she doesn't question what I'm saying. She accepts what I'm saying. And as I come out of the store, and it's just very close to my house, so I can walk there. As I'm walking back home, the whole time that I'm walking back home, I hear a voice telling me the next time I go to a store, so I see myself going back to her store a few days later, and I hear a voice telling me my nephew is completely fine. All right, then I dropped it. Didn't even think about it anymore. And her, on her hand, she calls her sister and tells her, well, there's this woman that came to the store. I don't know if she was sent by God. She actually told her sister that. But this woman tells me that we are to imagine that her nephew was completely healed, completely fine, just normal. And the sister also accepting this, because I think they were in a state of, I'm desperate, I'll try anything you tell me. So the sister also accept that. Instead of questioning it and doubting it, she says, okay. And then her sister, and a few other family members, by the way, because it had spread, imagine the nephew being okay. Well, the next day, he woke up from his coma. On Tuesday morning, I see a text on my phone that my pants were ready. And I was actually surprised because she had already told me that because of her family situation right now, it could take a while for my pants to be ready. And I said, don't worry, take your time. And she had told me maybe Friday, meaning maybe Friday or later. So I was surprised when I'm getting a text on Tuesday morning saying that my pants were ready. So right away I was like, oh, maybe this is good news. And as you guessed it, as soon as I get in the shop, she had another client before me, and she looked at me and she just kept on going with the client that was before me. When the client gets out of the shop, she tells me my nephew is completely fine. Exactly as I had imagined. So why am I telling you this story? Because I know that we manifested that. Me and them all together, we manifested that. And I manifested going to that shop that day. And since I manifested that, I had to have some bridges, right? Bridges of incident taking me there. And the bridges were, well, I had the idea to buy 2 pair of jeans online that were too long for me. Otherwise, I would have never been in that shop. Now, if you want to use your logical mind when it comes to manifesting, where are you going to go with this? It is not mixable. One has nothing to do with the other. It's like trying to mix oil and water. It will never mix because they are 2 different chemicals, completely different chemicals that just don't mix, period. So it's the same thing with the law. A lot of you, for example, why are you always trying to manifest the middle? The only reason why you are trying to manifest a middle, and you do that a lot, it's because you are mixing logical stuff in the hard world, the 3D world, and the magic of the law. So you are trying to mix a spiritual thing with a physical thing. And yes, at some point they meet, but you cannot mix them up when you are actually manifesting using your spiritual power. And when you are trying to manifest the middle, you are completely, literally getting in the way. You are trying to think with your little logical mind something that is going to happen anyway, and that's going to be manipulated, so to speak, by the higher self, by the God force. So what does your logical mind has to do with that anyway? Nothing. So this is the biggest problem in the manifesting community, and I think it's because a lot of people in the manifesting community are very new to this, and you have not yet tested the law. You have not yet improved your spirituality, and you need to. Because guess what? If you are not a spiritual person, and please, when I say spiritual, I'm not talking religious, okay? I'm super not religious. So I'm not talking about this. If you are not spiritual to a degree, when you become a conscious manifester, it's going to be a little bit harder for you, because you are always going to bring that logical mind stuff in the middle. And people who are less spiritual, what are they more? Well, they are more logical. And again, it's like oil and water. People that are too logical are less spiritual. People who are more spiritual are much less logical. For me, for example, since I can remember, I've never been a very logical person. And maybe that's why I'm kind of a spiritual person. I have to say, personally, I can easily block out the logical world out there. And I think that it's because at some point in my life, it was saving me. It saved my sanity, so to speak, to block out the world and live more in my head, in my imagination. So, if you are an analytical, logical person, you have to find a way. You have to convince yourself that this world is not operated with facts, with hardcore stuff that you see in 3D. Whether or not you are spiritual, it is operated through the higher self. And that's why when you become a conscious manifester, you have to trust the process and stop being in the middle, getting in the middle, using your logical mind to manifest your desire. When you are manifesting a desire, do not use your logical mind. Your logical mind is so limited. If you are doing this, you are going to cut yourself short big time. So anyhow, I hope I got my point across. If I did, please let me know in the comment, like the video, share it, and subscribe if you are new here. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.